Never be embarrassed. Ladies and gentlemen, never be embarrassed. Why? Because embarrassment isn't real. Let me say that again, closer. Embarrassment isn't real. It's not a real thing. Take it from me. Take it from a stand-up comedian who does this for a living. Not for a lot of money, I might add. Not yet, at least. It's coming. Embarrassment, it's not a real thing. It's not. Why isn't it real? Let's break it down. First, we should really think about and understand what is embarrassment. That's really important, fundamental. It's a feeling of like self-consciousness and like being perceived from doing something awkward. It's a feeling of like uncomfortability, you know, and that being perceived sensation. Oh my God, someone's looking at me for something I'm doing. I'm filming in a fucking park right now and people are skating behind me and I don't care. I used to, but I really don't. You know, when you feel self-conscious, maybe it's something you did, it's something you said, blah, 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 right? So let's use an example to break this down. Think about this. As an adult, you see people standing on tables in the club. You're in the club one night, you with your boys, you're ready for a night out. You in the club and you see some girls, they're just chilling, they're standing on the table. Woo, we're having a good time, yeah. Or some guys, even worse, if guys are standing on a table. Yeah, man, we're having a great time. Come to my section. You're embarrassed for them. You're embarrassed for them. But think about this. As a kid, as a 2-year-old, you see kids standing on tables. I see my nephew, niece standing on tables all the time. They never look embarrassed because they have no concept of what a table is. The only time my nephews and nieces, you know, and kids get embarrassed is then when their parents say, hey, you shouldn't do that. That's a table. Do you know what you do on a table? You draw on it, you eat on it. They don't understand the concept of a table. And this is a great example of inductive reasoning by the great Kanye West, Ye. You know, he's used this table example before, just from perceiving things. You only feel embarrassed after someone tells you what you should or shouldn't do. And it's really society, social pressures, social norms, trying to impose its will on you. Right? People make fun of Taylor Swift for the way she holds her pen. Actually, I went to school with Taylor Swift. Maybe I'll make a video about that. But people make fun of her for the way she holds her pen. Why? It works. She's one of the greatest songwriters of our generation. So who gives a fuck? You see what I'm saying? It's like, why does the way I hold a pen, because there's a right way to do it? You were taught the correct way to do it? What's correct? You start to break these things down and you go, oh, well, it's, you know, mechanics and aerodynamics and physics. Okay, but still, she's a better songwriter than 99% of people, 0.9%. So society and norms create embarrassment. You don't. So this is one of the ways you know embarrassment isn't real and you should never be embarrassed. What causes it? It's when you feel like doing something foolish or awkward. You're at the club, woo, someone says, hey, you shouldn't be on the table. How do you know this is a table? See what I'm saying? Let's say the table wasn't what you ate on and you ate on the floor. Then we have now changed the societal norm, you know? You're just being concerned on how other people think about you. Perception. And what is really crazy about it is what embarrassment does is it causes you to self-regulate. So it's like you put controls and limitations on yourself. You go, I know I shouldn't do this because other people, society tells me not to. It's really sneaky, but we really regulate ourselves more than anyone else ever does. Actually, we tell ourselves mostly what to do and what not to do more than anyone else does, especially as an adult. I shouldn't do this. I shouldn't do that. You should, look, there's certain things you shouldn't do, right? Like, but, I'm using the club table as an example, but when you want to take these risks where you're like, I really want to do this and I don't think it'll hurt anyone, or I just want to do it, then fucking do it. There's no reason to feel embarrassed by what society is trying to say. Society is usually wrong. Embarrassment, and this is why I want you to fight it. Embarrassment and feeling embarrassed, it's a form of controlling you. It's a form of you controlling you. You gotta break free of that. It's very important. You know, we're all weird in our own ways. I'm growing my unibrow out just to see how it looks. See? Let me let it focus. I haven't grown my unibrow out since I was a kid. I got made fun of for having a unibrow as a kid. And then I started making this stupid series on TikTok, growing my unibrow out. No one really liked it, but I had fun making it. And now I'm like, you know what, I'll grow it a little bit. You know, my girl likes it, so there's no harm. Even if she didn't, I'd probably keep doing it. And maybe I'll get rid of it, maybe not. But it's kind of weird. I just thought it would be funny to do. I'm not trying to like overly do something. But that's kind of weird. And we all have our weird little quirks, right? Don't stamp out your weirdness. It's what makes you you. Stay weird. Stay weird. Don't be embarrassed about what makes you weird and different. That's what makes you you. Your weirdness is what makes you you. Keep doing that. Please keep doing that. I want to see more weird people in my life. Some of my favorite people are weird. Weird is a good word. It means you're different. I'm weird, you're weird, we're all weird. Let's embrace it, you know. And if someone doesn't like, okay, should I be embarrassed by my content? No. Some people might not like this. Okay. Some people don't like my jokes. I've done thousands of sets. Some people definitely don't like it. Why would I care what their opinion is? There's a saying, opinions are like assholes. Everyone's got one. So it doesn't really matter. Doesn't matter at the end of the day. You should not put other people's opinions ahead of yourself. If you're doing things because other people want you to, you're never going to figure out who you are at the end of the day. It's never going to happen. So you really need to trust yourself, right? And you shouldn't feel embarrassed with anything that you do. What are we trying to be perfect for? No one's perfect. So if you're trying to pretend to be perfect for someone else that isn't perfect, you see how it makes no sense? Yeah. So that's all I'm trying to say. That's what I'm really trying to say is embarrassment is not real. So never be embarrassed. Never be embarrassed.